Dr. Knark.
Dr. Bilo.
Detail number 3, which is the vertical section.
Vertical section.
The bottom of the standard facade, not the door in this case.
Yeah.
And it shows then the street, sort of,
Yeah.
the floor and the facade.
Yes. And as usual, I start with the aluminium profile. So I start with the aluminium profile. Nope. I first start with how is it named? Bottom. Detail 3.
1 to 2.
And this is detail number 3. Zack system, patch, screw channel, patch. And as usual, we have the sealant in here.
Now the orientation is flipped. You have left is outside, right is inside.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So, is there any convention? Do you have an agreement in general? I usually just make sure that in case it's difficult to understand, I mark this or indicate outside, inside. But in this case, of course,
I'm not aware of any, say, regulation defining
me
it.
neither.
So this is, say, the system as we already know it from several of the details. And this is, say, the center line for the screw. And we can assume somehow here there's going to be the floor.
Yep.
And we can assume
It's already flush. That's already a decision from the architect.
that's what we assume, that this is flush.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, you can argue that, say, having it higher may risk of damages are less, because something finding its way here may be a problem, but
Yeah, also the cleaning personnel always, it's
it's a decision.
It's a decision.
It's a decision. I decided now for this situation, this is where I want it.
All fine.
Can I get the concrete pen, please?
So, of course.
And I assume we just have the concrete somewhere here as a setting, so concrete. And in the previous detail, we already had this as well. So the line where the concrete could be. As a consequence.
Yep.
Right, now I'm starting to develop it from the inside. I assume it's a simple raised floor with some kind of acoustic barrier insulation at the bottom part, and then there may be some kind of cast floor and a carpet on top.
Okay.
And we may also have some insulation layer in here.
Yep.
As the setting. So this is a given from the building itself, not our piece of cake, but it's given from
What would you recommend to do first from the building construction part of view?
facade first,
And
and
then
then the floor.
precisely.
And as we already experienced, this is the tolerances. We assume that this floor, depending on, say, this dimension, is on the same level, so tolerances are taken into account. And then I assume here in this situation we somehow have something which is, say, this is a step like allowing to get into. So we have kind of a drainage system, which is what we want. We want to somehow make sure that any rain coming here doesn't find its way into. So we need to make sure it finds its way out. The best way, also not our piece of cake, but to be defined, a drainage system. So I do.
there is really water coming down.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure this is the standard detail. Later on, when the door comes, we have to make sure that it also
it's a different story.
Precisely, it's a different story.
So we take something from the shelf as a drainage system, which is placed outside. Again, not our piece of cake, but it needs to be done. And then we're going to have a metal piece in here.
Yep.
And we somehow need to make sure that the whole tightness is done well with this. And again, we take the same piece from the system supplier, allowing us to fix
It's kind
this
of block.
final foil to the
It's
block.
almost the same element that we
It's the
also
same
see
element as we
from
saw
the
before.
top detail.
Exactly. And then that's it. And again, we place in the insulation.
Which is also in our case hard.
In this situation, again, hard
Insulation.
some geometry.
But now, while we haven't mentioned that in the detail on top, now we really have to think about how to fix the element to the building. So this is not flying in the air.
This is for sure not flying in the air. Difficult to draw in here, separate detail. But again, we take a system and we take the fixation settings from the system. So they're going to have some kind of shoes which actually mount on the concrete.
Yeah.
They position them the correct height. They're adjustable in all directions so that they fit perfectly to the situation. And then the stick system is fitted to this.
Yeah, but if I later phase draw this on the computer, I would already implement these mounting brackets and shoes in a very gray, in a gray thin line that you can see it. It's visible, so you can also take account of it. But it's not part of this detail what we show right now.
And now I'm going to try to do this as a three-dimensional drawing, as I always try to do in a three-dimensional drawing, by starting here, and I start again with what I see the farmost at the outside, which is, for example, the cover caps. Cover cap. Then there comes the glass in position, glass in position, down here, back. Then the stick up. The horizontal. This is this system. We see the stick, the post, and the rail as a system. We see the inner floor with all its layers.
And the concrete
situation
is cut through.
We see the concrete down. We learned that we have to get the sealant at the right position somewhere here.
Do we do also
a
specific clip or movie about the films and the ceilings, the vapor?
That's done.
Barriers.
That's done in the theory 1 and 2.
Ah, okay.
This is about how we adjust and absorb all this kind of. This
so it's implementing it right now, huh?
And now I'm just drawing the drainage system as, say, a principal idea of a drainage system, which is in front of the facade.
Yeah.
And it's
then you see
something from the shelf.
A gutter or something like that, precisely.
From the shelf, which we take to drain. Maybe down here as well, some gravel.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
some concrete.
This is sometimes also where a landscape architecture may have a saying in order to how it's placed and what's precisely.
And that's it.
Perfect.
Number 3.